Recorded in their mother's basement, Super Nerdland brings you Graded Point 5, where in a comic book it would be worth less than the polybag it comes in.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Graded Point 5. I'm your host Jason. With me tonight are Wayne and Jordan.
Hello.
Hey.
Alright, first off, we're going to give a huge spoiler. We're going to be spoiling a lot of stuff tonight, so be forewarned. Alright guys, we've had this discussion countless times among ourselves, but it's time we finally put it to the mic. How bullshit is death in comic books? I mean,
all of my thoughts can be succinctly put this way. Fuck you, Marvel and DC,
I am mostly with that take, but I do say there are exceptions.
Oh, of course,
Very minute exceptions, but there are some exceptions.
Well, first off, let's look at death outside of Marvel and DC. Like, in the indies, you still see death having a meaning in it. Mm-hmm. You know, it adds to a story instead of just how many issues till they're going to be back, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, with the exception of Image, they get kind of bullshit too.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. With Image, when their flagship character is literally an undead angel demon thing, you know, the aspect of death is not really that strong there either.
No.
Yeah. But even Marvel, you know, when you think when you look at Ultimate Marvel, that particular imprint ascribed to death is permanent
until it didn't. About 6 or 8 months in.
Yeah, until it's like, oh yeah, when you're dead in Marvel Ultimate, you're dead until Spider-Man died, and we had to bring him back.
you can't kill the Spider-Man, guys. Fucking Christ.
Can't do that. No.
Peter Parker's too important a fucking character to keep him dead.
Exactly. But it's like I said. There's two things. There's two things I say about death in comics. One, if the death is important and it means something, it needs to stay permanent.
Mm-hmm.
And two, if you intend, if the plan is to bring the character back, the bringing them the death has to have an impact on that certain moment, and when they bring them back, that has to be just as equal as or even a bigger impact.
Right.
Like Phoenix.
Like Phoenix, yes. For example, if I may throw one out, like many years ago, they killed off Reed Richards in Fantastic Four, and that was impact. It's like, holy shit, they killed the leader of the Fantastic Four. And the whole time, I mean, even the guy who was writing it at the time said, I wrote a back door so they could bring him back.
Yeah.
Just in case, He said, my intention was to keep it permanent, but if they wanted to, he said, a good writer always gives the next writer a back door. The problem is, when they brought him back, it meant nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It was zero impact. It's like, oh, Reed Richards is back. He died so awesomely, and then nothing.
Fantastic Four has been a fucking wealth of bad death retcons.
That's true.
Johnny Storm.
Oh, yes. He had a bad
really death. Big, meaningful, awesome death fighting the hordes of Annihilus on his own. And the retcon of, Annihilus kept bringing him back for some fucked up reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because reasons.
I will say, I think when they brought Ben back, the Thing, when they brought him back, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when they went and met God, and it was fucking...
It was Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
Good fucking lord.
That was cool, because, that brought it all around. That kind of brought a full circle to it, And the thing was, his death was impactful because it wasn't supposed to happen. Because he was hit by a weapon that was designed to kill Reed at, quote, Dr. Doom, because Reed was pretending to be Dr. Doom. We can get into stupid storylines another day. But
oh, God.
But
fucking Christ.
The blast was meant for Reed Doom, and it hit Ben, and it killed Ben. And so after that, Reed started obsessing, I'm going to bring Ben back. Then it was eventually came to the point, we're going to go meet God. And God was Jack Kirby. And I said, now this is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So it makes me think of something very specific. I think the biggest issue with death in comics is when you look at a lot of these long-running shows. We've got some of these, not shows, but comics with characters that have been around since some of them since the fucking 40s. And when you have such a well-established character like fucking Batman, remember a couple years ago when they killed him off of that fucking fight for the cowl bullshit? You can't keep the titular character fucking dead. It's the thing that kind of makes comics different from films or novels or anime or anything like that. Usually with those, these aren't long-running things.
Right.
And so you can kill a character off, and it's kind of no harm, no foul, because it's not going to be this long-running thing. It has its set thing. Whereas with comics, it's like, this shit can literally keep going as long as they have the fucking money to print the fucking books.
Right.
And the biggest problem with that is the only other way for you to make a character's story traumatically impactful is if you kill the people around them. Like, that's one of the big things that people talk about, like with fucking Spider-Man. Like, the big thing about Uncle Ben and why, Jason fucking flipped a tit when he heard they were thinking about bringing Uncle Ben back is because that's fucking important. Like, you don't fucking bring back Uncle Ben because...
I flipped a tit?
You flipped your tits. You flipped the fucking floppy, hairy man tits you got. It was
literally flipped right off his chest. It was like,
just flip the fuck up and hit me in the face. It was very traumatic.
And erotic.
Well, that goes without saying. I mean, let's be fucking real here. Fucking just lost my train of thought. Anyway, like when you have long running shit, there's not really a whole lot you can do to make that character's story really impactful. So death is kind of the obvious track to go down. Problem is, it's like you guys have said, you have to make it matter. And if you make the death impactful, but you make the revival just fucking blasé bullshit, it makes you look back at the death and go, well, what the fuck is the fucking point then?
Right. Kind of like I will use, you use Uncle Ben for example. I'll use one of my favorite examples, Bucky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bucky. I mean, the death of Bucky was like that was, Captain America, Steve Rogers. That was his like, oh shit, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that World War II wasn't real. I'm not saying that. It was just that the guy who was closest to me, who I trained, who was my partner, my best friend, he's dead. And it's kind of my fault because I dragged him along with me.
Right.
And then they just, but it's like 50 years later, we'll negate that. That's fine. And not taking away. I mean, when Brubaker wrote the story, it was a good story. I'm not saying it wasn't. It's just, I still felt that it was not. It should have stayed where it was. Because that was just like, that's kind of like a guiding light kind of thing. It's like Cap always had that thing. I'm never gonna do anything. I'm never gonna have somebody do something that I wouldn't do myself, kind of thing. After that,
yeah.
So that's a good example. Another one, and the reason why I call bullshit on it is because when it was initially done, they made it so it wasn't real, and so that was okay. But when they actually did it, it made it even more bullshit. Was Jason Todd.
Just,
I'm going to assume that we've all read Hush.
Yep.
Okay.
I have not actually, no.
Okay, you need to. Yeah, I will say you need to read that. That was a good story. But when they first in Hush, when they gave the idea that Jason Todd was back and he was the one fucking with Bruce, people were like, "Holy shit!" They went there. They fucking went there. I hope people were like begging, hoping to God that they didn't actually go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it turned out, it was Clayface prosing kind of thing, which that makes sense. Especially when you find out who was really pulling the strings. I won't spoil anything, so people who want to read it, they can read it. And then the next writer decided, you know what? I'm a nut.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be funny. No, it wasn't funny. It was terrible. Don't do that anymore.
Superboy punched reality.
Yes. Superboy punched reality and brought Jason Todd back to life.
Proving once again violence solves nothing and makes everything far worse.
Like, have you ever been so mad at reality you punch it despite it and you bring people back to life instead? Oh,
but then
God.
again, Superboy Prime has never been anything good.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's very true. And plus, I could get into that whole thing like all day long, how they fucked that whole premise up with Superboy Prime. But yeah, it's like I said, there you go, a bullshit reason. Yeah, in the books they try to explain it. Oh, they took it, Talia took, Jason's body and put it in the Lazarus pit, and that's why he's alive. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but no, that the whole thing is that the actual truth of it is Superboy punched the walls of reality, and it changed events so he would be alive. Yay!
So retarded.
It is. It's absolutely stupid. In fact, Jason, remind me. I believe it was during Blackest Night when all the zombie heroes were popping up.
Yeah.
That they said it was actually Superman's fault that there was back to life.
Yeah.
Because when he came back to life, it opened a door that couldn't be closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though they explained in Superman's own book back then that he wasn't really dead. Don't you love it when they forget little plot points in their own books? It's great.
Well, come
Especially
on, man.
Those plot points are bullshit.
Yeah.
Come on,
like,
man.
I'm
That
sorry.
happened a long time ago. You can't expect to remember all that shit. Come on.
We don't have editorial for this.
I mean, who was it? For Marvel for years was it Shooter who was like their guru of continuity?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that DC had been missing that forever. Like, why did wait? Why did Superman die? Oh, who cares? We'll write something else. Yeah. Really gives a shit. It's just.
But when I think about Death retcons, the one name that comes up for me is Jean Grey.
Oy.
She is such bullshit as a character. One of her fucking powers has become basically to self-resurrect.
He became Gil from Street Fighter 3.
Right?
Pretty much. And see, the thing is, even then, like originally written, she got the Phoenix powers were gotten. The Phoenix, she died, and then to come to find out that it wasn't really the Phoenix, it was just somebody taking on. It wasn't really Jean. It was somebody taking on her appearance. It was the Phoenix taking on her appearance, and Jean was in a cocoon.
At the bottom of Jamaica Bay.
At the bottom of Jamaica Bay. That was okay because she didn't really die. But what it implied at that point was that Jean wasn't really the host of the Phoenix, that the Phoenix was its own entity. As years gone by, Jean is the Phoenix.
Yeah, right.
That is it went from Jean is the host of the Phoenix to Jean wasn't really the host of the Phoenix, that was just the Phoenix was its own entity, to Jean actually is the Phoenix. They are of the same thing and they exist together, and it's like, oh god, why? Jeez.
Yeah.
Hers is, that's a good thing. Oh, I got one. How about this? How about Hal Jordan?
Yeah.
That's I mean,
they had to retcon him twice.
Yeah.
They had to double tap that shit.
A death so bad they retconned it twice. I mean, goes out like a champ. I mean, became a bad guy. Actually turned evil.
Yeah.
And went out like a champ because, I realized, hey, look, guys, straight, I fucked up. Burning out the sun, not my best idea.
Right. But then they bring him back as the Spectre.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, the Spectre at the time needed a host. Hal Jordan was looking for redemption at the same time. Hey, works out. Hell, it didn't.
Yep.
Because somebody had a hard-on for, wanting Hal Jordan, to have a power ring. Fine and dandy. But you could say that
it undid character development.
They did. And plus the fact that With the parallax, when the parallax thing, that was another thing. That was just, when I talk about adding to continuity, that doesn't make sense. The whole parallax entity. Oh, it wasn't really Hal doing it. It was this thing that was infecting him. That made him evil. I kind of liked it better when Hal just went crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it was
I just
actually
thought,
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, this dude destroyed my entire city. I want to resurrect my city. And the Guardians are like, no, fam, you can't do that. And he's like, the hell with you, I'm going to do it. And they said, no, really, you can't. All right, I'll kill you all, take your power, and then do it. And then, like I said, when he got so pissed off enough that he kind of, burned out the sun, he's like, yeah, wasn't my best moment. I'm going to go fix that. So he reignites the sun at the expense of his own life. Not a bad death. That's an impactful death. It's like at the end, he finally found himself and he sacrificed himself to, bring things back to status quo. Then the Spectre thing happened, which, like I said, it was interesting. It gave a different look for the Spectre. We only had one Spectre in continuity to that point. So, it's nice to know. That's one of those things I can see it being a mantle and not a...
Yeah.
And not a character. The mantle of the Spectre is more important than the character of the Spectre,
Mm-hmm.
And then they said, and then, some writer come along and is like, you know what, I think I want Hal Jordan alive. It's like, okay, what you got, fam? Giving credit where it's due, at least he didn't do the whole, it was a clone in the beginning, and then they didn't really, they just killed the clone instead, but not the real, I'm glad he didn't do that. But... At the same time, Jason, remember? Now that I just think about it, not only did they bring Hal back, they brought back Sinestro, who was also dead at the time.
Yep.
Somehow Sinestro survived getting his neck broken.
And in a triple shot, they turned Parallax from Hal Jordan's alter ego into an actual creature.
Yeah, into an actual creature of fear.
So it was like three complete fuck-ups right there.
Yeah. Parallax became the embodiment of all fear. Oh, and it happened to be yellow, and that's how we explain how the Green Lantern rings can't take on yellow. Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Christ!
Yeah, that's about the only way you can explain that. Then we had the whole color spectrum, which is, you can take that either way, but that's not the point of this show. It's just. It's like Jason and I talked one time. You can almost pinpoint when bad ideas start.
Yep.
And I'll give you another very good example of a character who should have stayed dead, and I will believe this till my dying day. Barry fucking Allen.
Mm-hmm.
That was a death that meant something. You know why? He fucking ran himself to death trying to save not just our universe, the multiverse. That's impact. That's an impactful death. There is no rhyme or reason that Barry Allen should ever have come back from that. He gave it his all and more. Literally.
Yeah.
But then, who was it that brought him back? Can't think of the writer's name, but you know who I'm talking about. Just to let you know, one of those things. Oh, I'm a big fan of the Silver Age. I'm going to bring back all my favorite characters. Fuck Wally West.
Right.
It's literally fuck Wally West. Get on him. I don't care. Even though at that point, Wally had been the Flash for 20 years at that point?
Yep.
So, hey. Oh, no. And how many times they try to fucking replace Wally? I think the best one is when they try to replace Wally with Wally. Yes, that actually happened. They killed off Wally so he could be replaced by an older version of himself.
What fucking sense does that make? They couldn't have just wrote a fucking story where the motherfucker's older? Like, nah, I gotta kill him and bring him back as an old fuck. That's fucking stupid.
Oh, here's the best part. Only one person at one point knew who he was, and that was Superman, because, Superman, right?
Superman fucking knows everything. Are you telling me that not even fucking Batman knew who the fuck that nugget was?
No. Here's the best part. When he unveiled himself, you know how they knew he was an older? he had a scar across his eye.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's the indication of that. You're an older person, that you've been through the wars and shit.
Good fucking lord.
Christ.
How about that was a good one. How about, I think I mentioned this to Jason when this subject came up. Norman Osborn.
You can have a healing factor and everything just as well, but dude, your healing factor takes so long that they pronounce you fucking dead. Your healing factor ain't worth shit, son.
And also,
Sucks.
The fact that your healing factor took literally 20 years to cure being gored by a goblin glider.
Right? You got impaled by a goblin glider. There's no cure for that.
Yeah. I mean, your heart and everything was just disintegrated at that point. There's no nothing. I mean, damn. Come on. In fact, that's the thing. I mean, as bad as 90 comics could be during their time, that was one interesting story. Jason, you might remember this. There was a time when, if we know Harry took up the mantle of the Green Goblin, I hate Spider-Man. I'm going to avenge my father, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
If you remember, they killed off Harry at one point.
Yeah, drug overdose.
Yeah. And remember his son hated Spider-Man.
Normie, yeah.
Yeah, his young son, he was like 7, 8, something like that at the
Not
time.
even.
Yeah, so that was an interesting, I said, so eventually, a few years from now, we're going to see another Goblin. And so this could be a generational thing,
Yep.
Where it's just going to be a fucking family that fucking hates Spider-Man. And that's like, so it'll be something that Spider-Man would like never live down, pretty much. Well, yeah, and it's not really his fault. I mean, obviously, Norman was insane and it started all this shit, but it was just something that Spider-Man would always have to deal with.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, oh, Norman's back. Hey, why?
And now Harry's back.
Yeah, and Harry's back too. Yeah, why clones? Whatever. Fuck.
Not even clones. It's like, the funny thing is, fucking Harry never really got explained. It was thought he was part of the whole One More Day thing, but it turned out he wasn't. He's just kind of back and nobody knows why.
Oh, so when they did One More Day and went into Brand New Day, they just never explained why Harry's back. It's like, oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's whatever.
You just move back. Yo, nigga, what's up?
Yeah.
I still fucking hate you.
All right, guys. We got to get to that part of the show now.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
The best, and I mean ultimate, most amazing way to retcon death. Clones.
Oh yeah. If you got some tissue, you can make a fucking clone. That's all you need. Did he spit on the ground at one point in his life? Fuck, you got a clone. Fuck it. Got him. We got him covered. Good.
I thought you at least had to have him jizz in a cup or something.
No. Don't you understand? See, this is what I call. I joke with my mom because she watches soap operas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is like how like in real life, a DNA test like takes 6 months.
But
in soap operas, it's like, okay, we need to know who the father of this baby is. We better do a DNA test. 2 days later, DNA test results are in. No, but in comics, it's like it'll take us like 2 issues to make a clone, and we say, how do they usually say, unless they specifically say it, an issue breaks down to a span of maybe 2 days, between or something like that. So yeah, so span of 2 days, we got us a new clone. The guy who died is fine. He's all right. Well, that's not really him, is it? Yeah, it's in every way that counts.
Like how Mr. Sinister cloned all of the Marauders.
Right? Yep.
That way, like, Claremont was really just saying, if I forget that one of them is dead, I'm just going to write them in anyway, and they're clone.
Yeah. But at least Claremont admitted to that's what was going on. It wasn't like...
Yeah.
And plus, it worked because Sinister was a geneticist. So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still lazy as shit, though.
It's lazy as shit, but it gave Claremont the freedom to keep telling the story he wanted to tell.
Yeah.
And plus, he could always like just say, at the very end, it's like, oh, now the clones are all died because they used super mutant things or something. I don't know.
Now, what's even funnier than this is the clones of Spider-Man, Kane, and Ben Reilly have both themselves escaped deaths in other ways. Kane supposedly, decayed to death?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was an imperfect clone, but he came back.
Right.
And then Ben Reilly came back as the Jackal and started cloning other people. like Dr. Octopus and shit. Another fucking Gwen Stacy clone. I mean, Gwen Stacy, she must have been leaving DNA all over the place. Take that however you will. What?
I mean,
I said dropping her eggs all over the place.
Yeah.
After her neck fucking snapped, all of them poured out.
Christ.
All into the Hudson Bay. There they are. They're just little Gwynfish just flopping around in the Hudson Bay.
But no, Gwen Stacy has been cloned 58 times by now.
And you know what?
I heard if you take the stamp off of the cover of the comic, send it to an address in New York, they'll send you your own Gwen Stacy clone.
Oh, that's nice. I could stand a Gwen Stacy clone. That'd be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But fucking, there's another death that's very impactful.
Until it wasn't.
Except when it wasn't, exactly.
Oh man, this thing that's gonna teach Spider-Man a valuable lesson about, how to use his power responsibly. Fuck it, who cares? Dumb bitch died. She's back now, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's a clone. It's not a clone. It's a clone. It's not a clone.
Whatever. It's something.
Oh, and let's not forget that, hey, let's retcon his perfectly innocent girlfriend into being a fucking whore. Did we forget about that part? Because that was
I was trying to forget. So
I think that's been re-retconned away, but still, that it did happen at one point.
Guys, I wanna go through an article with y'all.
Okay.
Shit.
How many times has Jean Grey died?
Oh boy.
Too goddamn many.
We're gonna start at the top and work our way down.
Okay.
All right. Let's see this shit.
So this is from alternatecover.com. Gives credit where it's due.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
First death. Uncanny X-Men 101, October 76, dies piloting a crashing space shuttle. That was, obviously the birth of the Phoenix storyline that we mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be death 1.
Right.
Death 2, commits suicide on the moon. That's Uncanny 137, September 1980. That doesn't count, because that's Phoenix.
Right.
And as established later on, Phoenix wasn't... God damn it, dude. We're only 2 deaths in.
I was going to say, we're 2 in, and Jason's already
2 in.
motherfuckers!
Alright, and let's see. So we look at number 3. Erased from existence by Thanos. If I had to go...
I'm sorry, that just seems like a little bit of a bitch way to go.
Yeah, I mean...
Thanos is just like, no, you're bothering me. Fuck off.
Not even that. He didn't even pay attention. He just snapped his fingers and half of existence went away.
That's literally when he killed everybody half of everyone in existence. So.
Jean just happened to be in that half.
Yeah.
So, he wasn't even paying attention.
I mean, that was literally she just disappeared, not just dropped dead. She's just gone. So.
But she was restored by the Living Tribunal, choosing to undo the actions of Thanos because he shouldn't have had the Infinity Gauntlet to begin with.
Yeah.
And Jean Grey was brought back to life. Until number 4. Killed by Trevor Fitzroy Sentinels. Uncanny 281, October 91.
Okay, can we... I need to stop real quick.
What?
Look at the fucking timestamps for Death 3 and 4.
Yeah.
This
Same
died
fucking
twice
year.
in 3 fucking months!
So, when she was killed by Thanos was in July of 1991, and when she was killed by Trevor Fitzroy, it was in October of 1991, for anybody's wondering.
Oh, God, why? Fuck.
I have to read this Hellfire one, because I totally blanked and forgot about this one. If I may. During an attack on the Hellfire Club, Trevor Fitzroy's Sentinels kill the Hellions and Jean Grey. I mean, why not? Luckily, she had transferred her mind into Emma Frost before delivering the final blow. The Sentinels declared their target dead at the scene. Jean eventually was transferred back to her own body by Xavier a few issues later. Wait a minute. Did she not get... Didn't Sentinel, have that whole, we vaporize our targets thing?
Only if it was plot convenient.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, okay. The questions of how exactly you can transfer a living mind into a dead body was glossed over somewhat.
As in entirely.
Still, her body was brain dead. If nothing else, that's what I call a technical death.
Here's another problem one. 5. AOA. Age of Apocalypse Jean murdered by Havoc. X-Men Omega. June 95. Alternate reality does not count.
Yep.
Okay. Wow, that's a big jump. June 95. Our next one is October 2003. Stabbed by Wolverine on the remains of Asteroid M. That is, what was that? Wasn't that Grant Morrison's new X-Men?
Yes, that was new X-Men.
Yeah, number 148.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan, look at when the next one took place.
2 issues later.
I
Literally. The Zorn death.
The Zorn death, by the way, I will go on record to say the absolute most bullshit way to kill a character ever.
Agreed.
Okay. The reason I say this. Okay. Let's look at what happened. To explain, what happened with that death, you had to explain what happened with the Wolverine one. She asked him to kill her because she felt that the Phoenix was about to be reborn and she needed to die. He didn't want to do it, but who else could do it, right? The Wolverine killed her. She reawakened and she was able to get them back to Earth.
Yeah.
Zorn turned out to be Magneto. Well, a clone of Magneto, so there's another clone debacle.
Except for it wasn't a clone, it was Zorn's brother Zorn pretending to be Magneto.
Zorn's brother Zorn.
Ugh.
There's like Chen Zorn and Shen Zorn or some shit like that.
Yeah. There was 5 of them or something like that.
Only 2 actually, but
okay.
One died and came back because one was decapitated by Wolverine.
Yeah.
After he killed Jean.
Which, by the way, that was another that you kind of knew that wasn't the real Magneto because
they cut his fucking head off.
Right, because do you think Magneto would have let Wolverine with an adamantium skeleton get anywhere close to him?
Right, and here's the funny thing: the dude got decapitated and got brought back.
Yeah.
Now, 8 through 13 are really fucking funny because they all happen in one issue. I am not kidding.
And 14 also happens in the same fucking issue.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
So 8 through 14 are all the same fucking issue.
Well, shit, I guess I should have given them some credit. They waited a couple issues between, some of the earlier deaths. Fuck.
But, but back to 7 real quick, I have to say. The reason why it's bullshit is because, here, I'm going to read this real quick. Which is supposed to clear up Morrison's already clear plot about Magneto inventing Zorn to get into the X-Men. We do know whoever it was, they did emerge to kill Jean with a magnetic pulse that gave her a massive stroke. The reason that's bullshit, at the time, Jean had the power that rivals Galactus.
Right.
There is no way in this or any reality that anybody could generate a magnetic pulse strong enough to kill someone that is powerful as Galactus. None. So, call bullshit. That's Grant Morrison being a terrible writer. Next.
Alright, Phoenix Unsong number 3. 6 times. 6 fucking times. She dies in sequence. Every time stabbed by Wolverine.
He kept trying to kill her. That was,
And he kept succeeding, but she kept coming back.
Yeah. That was...
I mean, and then she submerges herself in a glacier. Mind you, she comes back from that too. At the end of Phoenix Unsong, she doesn't die to so much as she leaves.
Yeah, that was pretty much she never really, this one, after that death, she's technically never been back.
Well, she's still alive though.
Yeah. And even though they, they've done the whole Phoenix, no more Phoenix thing in Avengers vs. X-Men, they didn't really address Jean.
Yeah.
It's I like that. So what? Call it 14 deaths then? But wait, there's more.
Those are all non-continuity. But still, with that 14 deaths, only 12 of them actually count.
Yeah, only 12.
Only
12.
Yeah. Well, dude, she is the fucking Phoenix. She's a living escape death cheat.
I know, but still, I just love the wording there.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 14, only 12 of them really matter. The only 12 of them really, the other two, those don't fucking count. That's just what if scenarios. No big fucking deal.
I mean, I just love the whole. Right before she died, she transferred her consciousness.
Oh my god. It's so fucking stupid.
Because right before I die, the first thing I think, man, I wish I could transfer my mind to somebody else's body. That'd be great.
That'd be fucking great. Oh shit, my body's still dead. Fuck! I didn't think this through.
I didn't think this through. What the hell am I doing?
Well, hey, I mean, Psylocke escaped death that way.
Yeah.
She got her mind transferred into Quinon's body, then Quinon died in Betsy's body of the legacy virus.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's a continuity. Fuck up.
Right? So that should have been Betsy dead.
In fact, the Quinon's body, which is funny because she died of the legacy virus even though she's not a fucking mutant.
Well, genetically, she should have been being in Betsy's body.
Yeah, but what's just funny because Betsy being in Quinon's body, she should have had no mutant powers.
But instead, didn't they wind up splitting the powers?
Yeah, it was something like they had.
Quinon had low level telepathy or some shit.
Yeah, they had a portion of each other's powers, pretty much.
And then Betsy learned how to be a ninja.
Why not? I mean, sure.
Sure.
She became a ninja. The other one, and like I said, eventually, I think she was able to regain the more use of her psionic abilities, and she could have better telepathy or some shit.
Because reasons.
Yeah. All right, here's a good one, Wayne. Remember that time Captain America died?
Oh God, yeah. Okay. Civil War, the first one. I'm not really counting this new one because fuck it. Cap did what he was supposed to do. Everything, was fine. It looked like they were going to win. Then, hey, why not? Hey, let's have Cap get attacked by, first responders because they think he's the bad guy. That makes a lot of sense, right, guys?
Well, obviously.
Yeah. And so when he's going to court for crimes, like wanting to be, free of government control, because that's a crime, something, he gets killed by his girlfriend. Except he didn't.
He got unstuck in time.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever the fuck that means. Obviously, it means the same thing that happened to Bruce Wayne when he got hit with the Omega Sanction. Considering the series that involved bringing both characters back, I forget what they're called, like Return of Steve Rogers or some shit, and then
it was Return of Steve Rogers, and then the other one was
Batman Odyssey or something.
Batman Odyssey or something like that. Yeah,
it involved them floating through different various periods in time.
At least with the thing about at least with Cap, it was his life.
Yeah, but it's still.
It was still he was going through time, but at least it was his life, and he had the wherewithal to say, like, I think it was Vision who eventually he's like, "Hey, Biz, I think there's something going on, and I need to tell you what's going on."
Yeah.
But with Batman, he was literally jumping through time, like there became Batman in caveman era and shit like that.
And Batman is a pirate.
Batman was a cowboy.
Cowboy, yeah.
I think he got in that one. He got shot by Jonah Hex, which was kind of cool. But
right,
yeah, but yeah, and I remember this tells you how convoluted it was. It was so because like there was literally the heroes were trying to keep Batman from coming back to life because you destroy reality. You'll literally destroy your reality if you come back. And finally, Batman, in a moment where he could actually talk to them, he told Superman, says, "Don't worry, I got it figured out." It's like, okay.
Oh my god, I tried forgetting about this fucking storyline. I really did. Because the part you just mentioned. It's all right, niggas. I got this.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm fine. Everything will be fine. I got it figured out. Like, huh?
How? Motherfucker,
How?
I'm Batman.
Yeah. That. Okay. I'm gonna say this. Thank you. God bless. Who played Batman in the first Batman movie?
Was that Michael Keaton?
Michael Keaton. Yeah. Thank you, Michael Keaton, for playing Batman in the first movie because it was actually really good. But fuck you for that whole "I'm Batman" thing. Because that has just become the resting bitch face for Batman. Like, you just explain everything away. What? How'd you do that? I'm Batman. Oh, well, okay.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, no really need for explanation. I mean, he's Batman. Well, yeah, you're right. Fine.
I mean, technically, he fucking is Batman.
He is Batman.
Whatever. I mean, you're
he's
not technically wrong
there. I mean, jeez.
Oh, fucking Christ. So, as we've been talking about this, I had a thought about a character that I think Marvel has actually kind of dealt with the death situation fairly well by completely lampshading it, and that's fucking Deadpool.
Yeah.
You know, one of the big elements of that is Deadpool is in love with Lady Death, who says that, you know...
No. Lady Death is a different comic. It's just Death.
Just Death. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. But anyway, it's like, yeah, well, when you die, you know, we could be together. He's like, all right, I just have to die. Oh, fuck. And I think that actually adds quite a bit to Deadpool's character because, you know, he's a character who, I mean, he probably has, outside of, like, cosmic entities, one of the best healing factors in Marvel Comics, doesn't he? Because it's even better than Wolverine's.
Yep.
It was, how did they say? It was modeled after Wolverine's, but they, quote, improved it.
Yeah.
And, the only thing is, like, I think they say because of the way his cancer is mutated, like, that's why he looks the way he does and, you know, stuff
yeah,
like
because it's basically he's in a constant state of decay and regeneration.
Right, exactly.
But I don't know. I always thought that was an interesting element of Deadpool's character because it made the act of death impactful because of the simple fact that it is a character who literally can't die and actually wants to die.
Yeah,
because he found a reason. Like before, he didn't want to die. That's why he went through the experimental procedure that turned him into who the fuck he is. And then he finally found a reason to die, and it's like, oh shit, I fucking can't now.
Mm-hmm. And even when he could like die, Thanos wouldn't let him because that would.
Yeah, Thanos pulled the fucking biggest dick move. He's just like, nah.
Yeah, I'm literally putting an enchant on you so you can never fucking die. It's like, what? No.
It's like, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, right.
But how fucking sad is that? How sad is a character like Deadpool is one of the better examples of how comics have actually properly dealt with some of the like weirdness when it comes to long existing characters and death.
Yeah, you know, a character who is not to be taken seriously at all is actually one of the better examples of how to deal with death in comics.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So, I'm trying to, you know, while we were talking, I was thinking, who's a character that is dead, that hasn't been brought back, that should be, and who's a character that should have never been brought back, which, you know, I went over my few, but what do y'all think? Good.
It's the same person for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think of a character that is dead and hasn't been brought back but should, and I honestly can't really think of any, but then again, my understanding of comics is not nearly as great as yours or Jason's.
Right.
Wayne?
But
yes.
Marvel.
Good point.
Oh, yeah.
Every time they quote-unquote bring him back, they say up front, this is not the real Marvel.
Yeah.
Like in the Secret Invasion, you knew from page 1 that was a Skrull.
Right. And also, when they did, like, anytime they had brought back the actual Marvel, it was a out-of-time Marvel.
Yep, and they said so straight up front.
Yeah, this is not actually Marvel. Yeah. He has not come back to life, and, you know, this, that, and the other. But yeah, that's an excellent one. In fact, I think he'll just, you know, I think he'll be the only one at this point who will stay dead. I mean,
no, because they're too intent on making Carol into Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, Carol. You know, they're making Carol into Captain Marvel at this point. So, for better or worse, That's another subject.
That's another episode for another time.
Yeah. I've talked to Jason before, so we just need to have like one for Marvel, one for DC, where we pinpoint the exact moment where things went fuck, and they have yet to recover. But as far as like I said, characters who I think should have stayed dead. Obviously, I think Bucky should have stayed dead. Jason Todd should have stayed dead. If they have or are bringing back Uncle Ben, no.
Aunt May should have stayed dead.
Was that Aunt May? Yes, that's a good look. Aunt May is, as portrayed originally, is old and decrepit.
Yep.
Right. She's literally hanging on by a thread as life as it is.
Though, let me say, I will not turn down the idea of Marissa Tomei being Aunt May.
Oh no, that's the
And I would split her like cordwood.
This announcement has been brought to you by Durex condoms.
Dude, come on. Even fucking Tony Stark's like, yeah, I'm gonna hit that.
Yeah. Oh god.
Marissa Tomei ain't that old.
No,
like 51.
Yeah. I mean, she's still banging too. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But no. But yeah, when they killed Aunt May off in the comic, when in the Civil War, if memory serves, she should have stayed dead, and that was all the bullshit retcon. I want Peter Parker to be single, but we can't just have him have a divorce because that'll taint him and all this stuff. We can't have character development, so I'm gonna reset him about 15, 20 years because I just want to do it because fuck everybody else is what I want. I like the Silver Age.
No, they should have had fucking Norman come back, be like, surprise, bitches, and off fucking Mary Jane.
Yeah, I mean, but they didn't want to kill off Mary Jane. Everybody, because Mary Jane, they love Mary Jane. Mary Jane's a good character. I was like, it's funny how y'all love Mary Jane so much, but you keep putting her on the fucking sideline.
I have to make a confession. I'm right there with Marvel. I too love Mary Jane.
Yeah, but that's fine if you love Mary Jane. Oh, God damn it! I know what you did there.
That's why I didn't say anything. I was like, I know where this motherfucker's going.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, and I don't like it. No, but no, that's you're right on the money. Aunt May should have been often. That should have been a character development. Like, yeah, that whole revealing my identity to the world thing, not smart.
I'm gonna go another one with that one, Wayne, who should have stayed dead. Professor Xavier at the end of Messiah Complex.
Yes.
When he got shot in the head, he should have stayed dead from that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they shouldn't have brought him back at the. Well, they brought him back just so Scott could kill him, didn't they?
Yeah, basically.
Wow. Good job, guys.
Now, here's one for you. Who's dead that you're hoping stays dead?
Who's dead that I hope stays dead? Is Dr. Octopus dead?
Clone.
Currently
Currently cloned.
Clone? Well, that don't count then. Well, it's one I would hope would have stayed dead. And just because of that whole Superior Spider-Man bullshit.
What are you talking about? That was a great story.
I don't like the fact that all it was fucking. I know you're fucking with me, but I don't like the fact that they hold. It's like, oh, Doc Ock the whole time he's just a fucking Spider-Man fanboy.
Right.
That was dumb. That was bullshit. And it's whatever. After that, I just hope he stays dead. But hell, he's been cloned, so yeah, why? Yay.
Now, I'm gonna throw a controversial name out there for you. Logan.
You know what? That's honestly not that controversial.
It's not controversial because at least that's one of those he had a good death.
Yeah, but thing is, he was Marvel's biggest selling character for how long?
But at the same time, it's like, oh, we got plenty of Wolverines around here.
And on the same note, I hope Cyclops stays dead.
Oh, he's dead?
Yeah, fuck. Part of the whole Inhumans thing, he caught the M-Pox and died.
Oh, good. I mean, yeah, he's.
And then Emma made a psychic projection of him that started the war with the Inhumans, and then Black Bolt blew up the fucking psychic projection.
Oh, nice.
So Cyclops technically kind of died twice.
Good, because fuck him.
Yeah,
he's a cunt.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Xavier stays dead too.
As long as they got rid of the whole like Red Skull has half his brain. Or something.
No, they do not. In fact, there's a big ongoing at the time of this recording, where this Red Skull is trying to subvert, convert, and basically mindfuck the Avengers, the Uncanny Avengers. You know, the ones with the mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still got Xavier's powers, and they're still strong.
Okay. But yeah, I could see. Keeping Cyclops dead, and Logan's one of those. Yeah, if he stays dead, that's good. I kind of wish they just not had been brought Old-Man Logan into real continuity.
Yeah.
That's kind of because I call that a cop out, and even the there's a I know there's a website that says like is Wolverine alive yet, and it'll say yes or no.
Yeah.
And they even said that Old Man Logan does not count.
And I hope Jim Rhodes stays dead.
Well, it was a death that made sense. It was impactful. It's like, this happened because of this, and holy shit, he is actually dead. That's actually a real reason for him to be dead, because,
It's weird. I can't say much on the DC side. I'm still catching up with Rebirth.
You're right.
And the only death that was in Rebirth that I know of has already been retconned.
Mm.
And that's the New 52 Superman died.
Uh-huh.
And was replaced by the pre-New 52 Superman.
Right.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah. And same with Lois Lane.
I honestly think that was like kind of they needed to do that.
Well, they realized the Superman from back then wasn't as fucked up.
Right.
He didn't have the power creep going on.
Yeah, and like that's what I really didn't like about the new Superman anyway. When they, the New 52 Superman, it was like they had the power creep. And the fact that version that version of Lois Lane was a total bitch.
Yep.
I found out Superman's real identity. I'm
gonna publish it
about it. Yeah. Immediately, not without a second thought. Just like I'm gonna do it. Oh, good. That's great. But yeah, no, I'm actually glad they brought because isn't like in the whole thing like Dr. Manhattan's the Deus Ex Machina and all that whole thing.
Yeah, and there's a character Dr. Oz that may be Ozymandias.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of like feels like Crisis on Infinite Earths playing out through the lens of Watchmen.
Right. And
it's really weird.
It's really funny about that whole thing because remember when Alan Moore wanted to write that book, he wanted to use Captain Atom and
Blue Beetle,
and
The Question.
Yeah, he wanted to use the Carlton characters, but DC explicitly told him no, you can't. And now, even after all these years, Alan Moore says, don't fuck with my characters, fam. Now they're just doing the exact fucking opposite. If anything, you could say, we witnessed the death of the Watchmen.
Yep. I mean, this is like so bad that like Marvel Wikia. I read their synopses every week.
Yeah.
On New Comic Book Days.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gotten to the point where they start marking things as apparent death. Yeah, it's gotten so cynical about the issue that even the fans are like, until we're told explicitly they're fucking dead and there's a body that's not death.
Oh, can we include the death of Steve Rogers's apparent patriotism also?
You know what? Actually, that'd be the one thing I would be happy to have back.
Hmm.
Bring back his patriotism.
Like his real patriotism, not
like
this bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, not this fucking.
Yeah. Like
hide your cap was not a good idea. Nick Spencer, please go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Please die in a fire.
If any of the characters should have been like, gone crazy and done something stupid, it should have been Falcon.
I mean, Black Panther joins the Black Panthers.
Oh shit. Things got too real, fam.
Jesus Christ.
Pantherception. But yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Now, you know what's funny? In the same boat as Spider-Man is Superman. Died, then, lol, wasn't dead.
Yeah.
But while he was, quote-unquote, dead, a clone popped up. Superboy.
Yep.
How many times has his death been retconned out?
Oh, God. We're on, I think we're on number 4 and 5 now, I think.
Yeah.
Because, Connor is, I think he's gone again at this point.
Yeah.
And they brought back another Superboy who I don't know who the fuck he is.
Yep.
Is it Mon-El? I think is what they're.
I don't remember.
Well, whatever. It's another Superboy that they've invented up in there. Yeah, let's see. Well, going back to Superman's death, it's like that was a nice little clusterfuck too. You had the clone, you had the cyborg,
you had the Eradicator. Then you had Steel, who literally never once said, "I'm Superman."
No, he just said, "I am." He said, "I'm carrying the mantle." That's all he said.
Yeah.
He never said once that I'm super. I was like, dude, one look at him, and I remember when I first saw the artwork for him.
Yeah.
When he Reign of the Superman, I'm like, well, obviously that guy is not Superman. Well, why do you say that? I was like, well, I'm not being racist or anything, but that's a black guy. In case you haven't noticed.
Hey, there was that time Punisher became black.
Oh yeah, wasn't that so he could see how what the other?
I think it was originally to escape somebody, but
oh yeah. Well, there are those. That's one of those old '70s things. Remember, Lois Lane said,
"Yep,
to know what it's like, she had to live 24 hours as a black woman."
Fucking Christ!
I love the '60s and '70s.
Oh my god, it's amazing! Holy shit!
Where Superman was a witch doctor and he married he married Jimmy Olsen to a gorilla.
Yeah. He did.
Oh, and also when he was the king of the earth with the Pope hat and demanded tribute. Yeah, that was a thing that happened also. How do we get here?
Oh, fucking Christ!
Then there was he tried to straight up kill Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, and Lois too.
And Lois.
Many times. There was one where Lois is in space. So if we're talking about this actually dovetails into comic book death. She's out floating in space, and he just cuts her oxygen off.
I mean, fuck, what else you gonna do? Oxygen ain't fucking free, shit.
Yeah, he cut it off. And then one time he just strapped her to the front of a car and ran it off a fucking cliff. Yeah, Superman's a mass murderer. I don't know if anybody knows this or not.
Superman's a bit of a cunt.
Yeah.
I bet.
Those particular covers, they cover it under what they call super dickery. So,
I love Super Dickery.
It's a great thing. Yeah. Anybody got a chance, you need to check out Super Dickery. Or I don't think they have an actual website anymore, but you can pull up most of their stuff on Google search. So, is there anyone we haven't covered that needs to... Okay, here's one real quick. Who should kill themselves?
Oh.
Okay, I got one.
Yeah.
Everybody who works for Marvel and DC, just
Well,
right
that
now.
works. Yeah, that works.
Just stop.
And can we bring back some of your writers from the 80s to try to fix this shit?
I don't think you can fix it. I think you gotta let that shit burn down.
Oh, no,
just make new characters.
Well, I don't think you have to make new characters, but it's literally you're at the point. It's like, hey, remember that Retcon we did 3 years ago? We're gonna do another one.
But this time we're gonna retcon the staff.
Yeah, we're doing a staff retcon. Like, what does that mean? That means you're all fucking fired. Get out.
We're replacing with Fabian Nicieza. And shit's gonna be good again, damn it.
Yes. We're gonna make Marvel Comics great again. But no, seriously, a character in the comics, both Marvel and DC, you get two choices. Go. Either one of you.
Dude, I look. I didn't read a whole lot of Marvel and DC comics before. I'll read a whole lot of Marvel and DC comics now. Like Jason specifically for a good majority of this podcast is like, we ain't fucking covering mainstream shit because it pisses me the fuck off.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got fucking nothing.
Okay, Jason.
All right, Marvel. Fucking Emma Frost.
Yes, totally agree.
DC. Fucking Bruce.
Oh, Batman?
Just off Bruce. Why?
Done with it.
Because they shouldn't have brought him back to begin with. Dick Grayson should have remained Batman.
I mean, my thing is, if you were going to kill him off, you might as well at that point let Dick be Batman.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going through the whole trouble of killing him off and all that, might as well just, take the cart and the horse and run with it at that point.
Yeah.
My opinion. As far as a character in D who I want to off themselves, Cyborg.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because ever since they did not the New 52, but when they did Crisis, Infinite Crisis and all that shit, they've tried. It's basically he become the Roman Reigns of DC.
They're trying to push him and nobody wants it.
At the expense of established characters, like Martian Manhunter, who's one of my favorites, right? So they're going to push off we need diversity in our comic books. So you're going to push off the one guy, the one left of his race. There's only one.
Nigga, ain't nobody else green.
Yeah. There's literally no more minority than the Martian. He is a minority of a single being.
I mean, even Apache Chief is further down the fucking progressive stack.
Right.
Fucking Christ.
So yeah, I would say Cyborg, just so, to get him out of the way. And in Marvel, might be controversial, I'm going to say it, Tony Stark.
He's currently in a coma.
Well, the coma's not good enough. He should literally come out of the coma to kill himself. That's what
He just drinks himself to death.
That would be the ultimate irony. Just like it fucking wakes up and like he just forgets he forgot he had all that battle, thinks he's still a lush and kills himself by drinking.
Wow.
He get down a few pills too to make it more convincing. That's fine. But no, because the reason why I say that is just because he's fucked up so much in the last 10 years. And I mean, I know this is the writers, obviously, but just the character has been the catalyst of so many fuck ups.
Yeah.
Then, at this point, no, Rhodey shouldn't have died. You should have died. Get out of here. Rhodey should be Iron Man now. Fuck you.
I just don't like what they've been doing with Emma Frost. I miss her being a villain, or at least being like the leader of Generation X.
Yeah, at least when she was the leader of Generation X, she was out of the way, doing their own thing, had her own story, her own thing, and everything.
And she wasn't trying to be some mutant revolutionary.
Right. Now it's all like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, we'll just forget about that's. You remember when the first Astonishing X-Men run?
Yeah.
The one who was ironically written by Joss Whedon. Where they had the whole thing, where Cyclops was talking about to Nick Fury about, we haven't done anything wrong, you blah blah blah, and then Nick Fury just says, "How's Miss Frost?"
Right.
Like, yeah, don't tell me who's not done anything wrong. I mean, come on, Emma Frost is a murdering asshole when you get down to it.
Well, guys, I think it's about that time.
Yes.
Well, folks, this has been another episode of Graded Point 5. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and pick up some of the comics we've been talking about here.
Yes.
I mean, Death Retcons may be bullshit, but they're still kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, support your local comic shops, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.